What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be trying out this stuff. It is QuickSteel thermosteel high temperature metal repair. I have a pretty bad exhaust leak and this stuff is made for that, so I'm going to do a little bit of a review on it, I guess, and just see how it does. So let me show you what's going on with the exhaust and show you why I actually need something like this and not one of the other much more easier fixes for a simple exhaust leak. So this is what I'm talking about. This is an old exhaust, but same thing is happening currently on mine. What's going on is this is where there's like a bracket welded right here, and that's where it bolts to the hanger on the car to hold the exhaust up. But for some reason it keeps ripping the hanger completely off. Like, that's a hole. I don't know if it's just bad welds or it's just something's not right, but it's doing the same thing on the new one that I replaced this one with. But luckily it's not completely ripped off yet. It's still kind of just half on there. So that's where this stuff comes into play. It says it is actually made for exhaust manifolds and mufflers and stuff, and withstands up to 2400 degrees Fahrenheit, so that should be plenty. But we will see how this stuff works, at least until I can get a new replacement piece. Alright, let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. See if you can see it. Let's see if I can see it. This is what we got here. You can see it's like just ripping the bracket off for some reason. So there's too much pressure on that bracket somehow. But I'm going to try and just fill this hole and support it a different way for now until I can figure it out, or just get a new one. I really need a lift. I don't know. This mount is pretty loose. Just like, doesn't seem to be doing much. I don't see why that would rip the bracket off. It's not strong enough to put a bunch of pressure on it. Maybe because it hits the subframe here. So maybe just the vibrations are just ripping the welds off, but I don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know, because I don't get it. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It needs to be sitting up like this. I'm pushing up on it to get it lined up, but it rests on the frame. Even when it was bolted up to the bracket, it just pulls the bracket down with it, because it's just like nothing. So I don't know. Any suggestions, please leave a comment. Anyway, so for now, I'm just gonna clean everything up and just try a couple things and see what works out, and then try some of this QuickSteel and see if it'll at least stop the leak until I can get some new parts. I guess these are just problems you run into with cheap eBay car parts. I just looked at this exhaust up again, and you can get this whole thing, header to muffler, for $200. So I mean, you get what you pay for. So I'm just going to hit everything with some brake clean and a wire brush to make sure we have a good surface. And what I've come up with for now, some high heat silicone. I'm just going to stick this between the subframe and the pipe just to stop the rattling for now. Again, very temporary, till I can fix this right. Now, if that'll stay in there and not melt, it should help. And it makes this line up a lot better too, so it won't be pulling on it as much. So we'll see. And then you want to mix this stuff up. It says use a screwdriver or like a popsicle stick, but I'm just going to use the end of this file. It's really gritty. It's like sand and water. I mean, that's obviously not what it is, but it's the best way I can describe the consistency. Alright, that seems to be about as consistent as we're going to get it. Let's get it on there. See how it works. far seems pretty messy. Hard to get it where you want it, at least from this angle. I'm not in the best environment here, but I'm making it work. I want to try to get some of this inside if I can. Somebody wants to give me a lift. That'd be awesome. Trying to push it up in there. I think I'm just kind of wiping it off, but we're getting it. It's pretty weird. But, I mean, if it works, then, you know. It seems to be setting up pretty quick, too, so I'm going to try to really get it where I want it. It says you want to try to do it in a couple different layers also, like get a layer on the inside, and then another layer on top of that, a big thick layer over that to help seal it up. I'm gonna try some sort of something, clamp or some way to, let's see if I can show you, something around here and like clamp it down to really just help support that weld, support the bracket to the pipe. This is what I've come up with. Let's see if I can get some more of this stuff caked up on there. It's not the easiest stuff to work with, not the most forgiving, but I mean, so far at least, I mean, it goes on there. It does the thing, so we'll just see how it works, how it holds up, if it actually keeps seal. I'm just trying to cake it on there right now. It says it's made for holes with a diameter under 1/4 of an inch. Anything over that, you want to put like a piece of screen or something for it to hold on to. This is a whole situation going on in here. I don't want to get in everywhere. I don't want to end up locking this bolt down. Alright, it's all just kind of sort of retch at the limit here. I think more of it's falling off than wants to actually stay on it, so let it chill, let it set up. I think at this point we should just let it be. If it can't handle it, then it just needs replaced anyway. Alright, so I think that's where I'm going to call it quits on this. She's not pretty, but let's see if she leaks. I don't know if that helped or made it worse. I'm going to leave it alone. Alright, it is now the next day. It says initial cure time is 4 hours, and the complete cure after 24 hours, and that's at 80 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a pretty small window there for temperature, but luckily it is between 80 and 100 here, and I let it sit overnight, so it's been about 24 hours now, and it's hard, you know, it did the thing. So I'm gonna start it up and see how she does. So far, so good. I don't hear any leaks. I don't feel any leaks. See if it'll handle some revs under pressure. It's all actually coming out the back now. Well, so far so good. It's holding up, no leaks. I guess I'm just gonna actually drive around on it for a couple days, and then we'll see from there how well it actually does. But I got high hopes for it. Alright, well, I drove it around for a little bit, gave it some revs, gave it the beans, and it holds up. At least for one day, you know.
If anything happens to it, I'll give you an update on that. But so far, I recommend it. It works. It does what it says it's supposed to do, you know? All right, well, I took her out for another drive last night. Drove it pretty hard. Put it through some abuse. Took some back roads, did some pulls. No leaks, so that's good, but the rattling came back, so I think our silicone failed in one way or another.
Looks like it pretty much just melted away entirely. So I guess it wasn't as high heat as I thought. You can kind of see it right there, but the QuickSteel did crack a little bit. But I think that is because of the silicone failing, so it had all the vibrations and pulling on that bracket again. So I found a couple pieces of silicone laying around that are rated at a little bit higher temperature. So we'll see how that works. I also got this little gem for Father's Day. Thinking I could do a little video on cleaning it up, maybe giving it a new paint job, because it's got some rough spots here and there. But overall, it's still in pretty good shape. I think it'll clean up nicely. Maybe hit it with a little bit of paint. So what do you guys think? Would you be interested in seeing some stuff on that? Let me know in the comments.
So I guess that's gonna be it for this one. I'm just out here enjoying the beautiful day. So just remember, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.